Let's get started. I'll take you through two polls that came out. There is CNX and there is today's Chanakya. Let's give you a sense of what these pollsters say. I'll start with CNX, suggesting 49 to 61 seats for the Bharatiya Janata Party alliance. Remember, 36 is the magic figure. That's what you need to form the government. So if you've got 49 to 61, that is a big victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Anything more than 35 is good. The Aam Aadmi Party, the once mighty Aam Aadmi Party, could be reduced, according to CNX, to between 10 and 19 seats. The Congress could get a maximum of 1. That is according to CNX. Let's now look at today's Chanakya. Today's Chanakya suggests that the BJP could pick 51 seats, the Aam Aadmi Party 19. So directionally, today's Chanakya as well seems to be suggesting that you've got the BJP crossing the 50 figure substantially more than they need, and the Aam Aadmi Party virtually collapsing. Most of these polls, Rajat Sethi, seem to be picking up a 6%, 5 to 6% vote share gap between the BJP and the AAP. And if it's actually like that, it'll be a very decisive victory. In the build-up, pundits were confused, some netas were confused as well, but if 6% is the gap on Super Saturday, it's a decisive win for the BJP.
Well, if you look directionally, all prominent exit polls that have come in have all indicated towards one direction. The gap, vote share gap between Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP is consistently around 5 to 6%. If these numbers hold, and there is a big if, you will see Arvind Kejriwal, who would be crestfallen, very sad. His entire politics would come crumbling down before his eyes. And this is, this has been possible largely because of a negative vote in Delhi. I still do not see this as a positive vote for one party, but, building up of this fatigue factor among the Delhi voters who've been fed up for the past 3-4 years because, of lack of coordination between the central government and the state government. They believe that they've had it enough. Let's attempt giving BJP a chance. And perhaps if you go by these numbers, looks like Delhi doesn't even need a face to vote for the BJP.
They voted against Kejriwal. These numbers are correct.
Yes.
I want to go across to Yashwant Deshmukh and try and start making sense of his numbers. Yashwant, directionally, your poll also picks up a 3% gap in favor of the BJP over the Aam Aadmi Party. And I want to explain, and Yashwant will do that in greater detail, where Yashwant's poll is different from the others, is that he's picking up a big pro-AAP vote amongst women. Other polls are saying amongst women the gap for the BJP is lesser, just 1 or 2%. In Yashwant's poll, there's an up to 10 to 15% gap in favor of AAP amongst women. But women are fewer than men in terms of votes, according to Yashwant, and therefore he still thinks the BJP will be in front, but with a lesser mandate. Yashwant, your team's been working through yesterday and today in putting out the numbers. Give our viewers the macro picture in terms of your findings.
So the macro picture is that, in our tracker also, we have been finding that females were pro-AAP, and the gap was reducing among the males. And what has happened when we stopped our tracker 3 days prior to the poll and those post-budget scenario, BJP has taken decisive lead among the males in Delhi. And that is where it has delivered it to them. The male middle-class voter of Delhi has gone decisively in favor of the BJP. But somehow that lead did not come down among the female voters. And some may think that, okay, it is a statistical tie because, if you take the average, it will look down like 43 each. But it doesn't work out that way because of a simple reason. Among the electorate of Delhi, there is 54% male and just 46% females. So in Delhi electorate, it is not 50-50 share of the male and female voters. This is why, Rahul, I was very keen to see if Election Commission can give us the turnout figure of male and female separately. That would have given us more clarity. If there is no difference between the turnout figures of male and female, then it is probably going to be the BJP's way. But if the female voter turnout is higher than the male turnout, like as we have seen in many other states, then Aam Aadmi Party stands a good chance. But by and large, we figure out a 3-point difference between Aam Aadmi Party and
Let's spend some time, Rahul Verma, on the voter turnout percentages. This is amongst the lowest in the last several elections. Usually, after the last data comes out and the EC was criticized in Maharashtra and before that in Haryana, there's a 3, 4, 5% increase overnight. This time they haven't done it. They put out data at 11:30. They've stuck to that at 60.42. This is at least 2.5% lesser than the last election and substantially lesser than 2015. What do you make of the voter turnout, and in whose favor could the reduction go?
So first point, Rahul, I think I'll agree with what Rajat said in the beginning, which is that there is no momentum in favor of any party, right? If there was momentum in any favor of any party, we should have seen an increase in turnout numbers, which is what the 2015. So you saw an increase from 2008 to 2013 to 2015. And then the momentum dropped. It doesn't matter on the seat. But basically, turnout will increase if people are coming out to vote for a political party. It doesn't matter they win, but there has to be a momentum. So there is no momentum in that sense. Second, I think given this 54-46 sort of like difference in the electorate, the women turnout has to be higher than men turnout for them to be able to make a difference in this election. This has not happened in Delhi. So in 2020, both men and women had turned out at the same rate of 62% point here and there. So unless, if all polls are picking, one, that there is some difference between BJP and AAP on women voters, AAP leads among women voters, but the gap that BJP is able to pick among men voters, that can only be filled or reversed if women turnout is very, very high. Of course, these are sort of like poll numbers, so we don't know what will happen on 8th. And third point, I think we had talked about this yesterday, and Rajat also made this point, which is this election is much more of a referendum on Arvind Kejriwal as CM of Delhi, rather than a momentum built up by the
No, but
BJP.
what I don't understand is, why can't the Election Commission just be more predictable in terms of putting out its data? There should be a particular timeline by when data for women, men gets put out. And if, say, in Haryana and Maharashtra, there was a massive 5-6% surge overnight between the data that came out late evening and the next day, then how come there is no change at all? One argument could be that Delhi is a much smaller state and therefore, there was no need for revision. But a certain amount of predictability for data analysts and for students of politics is just much easier. Otherwise, what happens is all kinds of conspiracies do the round.
But
they'll say, "Daba liya vote, hame pata hi nahi."